My sister walked in wearing the same outfit from Mom's funeral, and I froze as I saw our niece cowering behind her. I realized trust was gone when her mean lady voice echoed through the hallway, blaming a toddler for spilled wine. She crossed from unpredictable to dangerous that day, and our family calendar, once full of birthdays, became a tracker for her outbursts. I flashed back to the Easter brunch when my sister stormed in late, dragging a gift bag she tossed straight into the trash. She sneered at Dad's boiled eggs, calling them sad little rocks. The calendar Mom used to plan family meals hung untouched behind her. I laughed nervously then, pretending it was just her being quirky, but her mean lady tone that morning silenced even the kids like a crack forming under everything we thought was safe. I remembered the night of my daughter's recital when my sister showed up in sunglasses, reeking of wine, and loudly declared the piano was a hobby for failures. I clenched my fists as my daughter's smile faltered. The family calendar, pinned beside the stage with proud dates, mocked me with her scribbled maybe scrawl. That night, I realized her mean lady jabs weren't jokes. They were sabotage, and I stopped inviting her to anything involving joy or pride. Over the next weeks, my sister started marking events on the shared calendar, visits, talks, checks, none of which we agreed to. I found her on our porch one evening, arms crossed, saying the baby had lied about her. My stomach twisted. My husband said it was coincidence, but I knew better. The calendar had become her weapon. When I uninvited her from family dinner, she smiled, that mean lady. Smile, and whispered, "I'll see you anyway." I changed the calendar settings, but she still showed up, this time at my daughter's school play. She stood in the back, arms folded, mouthing every line my daughter rehearsed. My breath caught. No one had given her the script. "She's just being supportive," Mom insisted, but I knew that mean lady stare wasn't love. My daughter clung to me afterward, whispering, "Why does she know my lines?" I had no answer, only dread curling in my chest. I thought I found the source, an old Google Doc we once shared, still accessible. I deleted it, convinced the leaks would stop. But that night, a birthday reminder popped up. Cake, red velvet, no lies. My hands shook. My brother insisted maybe someone else added it by mistake. I wanted to believe him, but the tone matched her mean lady brand of mockery, and the calendar, once helpful, was starting to feel like her private surveillance feed. The final straw came when I found her car parked across the street, engine idling, same time as a family check-in she'd added to the calendar. She didn't knock, she just sat there staring. I peeked through the blinds, heart pounding. My husband waved it off as paranoia. But her mean lady presence seeped through the glass, tainting our home. I realized she didn't need to enter, just being near was enough to make us unravel. At Dad's retirement party, she arrived uninvited, holding a manila folder and that mean lady smirk. I stepped in front of her before she reached the buffet. "You weren't on the list," I said, trying to keep my voice level. She waved the folder, "Just wanted to share family memories," she cooed. I grabbed it. Inside were photos of my house, taken through the windows. My throat closed. This wasn't obsession anymore, it was war. She followed me outside, folder tucked under her arm, eyes gleaming with something cold. "You think locking doors keeps me out?" she hissed. I shoved my phone into my pocket, thumb hovering over 911. "I want my family back," she added, then whispered, without the lies. "That mean lady," cadence twisted my stomach. Behind her, the calendar app blinked. She'd added another event, unburying truth. This wasn't just control anymore. She believed her delusions were real. I tried reporting her, showed the photos, the calendar edits, the folder. But the officer glanced at the dates and shrugged. "Looks like a sibling dispute," he muttered. My hands trembled. "She's stalking us." He handed the file back. No threats, no crime. I stared at the rejection slip, rage boiling under helplessness. That night, another calendar ping came through. "See you soon." The law didn't see the danger, but I did, and she knew it. I installed a new calendar app, locked behind two-factor security. Days passed peacefully until my daughter asked, "Why did Auntie cancel my birthday?" I froze. The app notification said deleted by guest, Olivia. I never gave her access. My daughter's tear-filled eyes said enough. That mean lady had somehow hacked back in. I checked the logs. She timed it for the exact hour we planned to surprise her. This wasn't sabotage, it was emotional warfare. Digging deeper, I found her email embedded in our shared family Wi-Fi, masked as a printer update. My blood ran cold. Every digital device was compromised. Photos, texts, schedules, all vulnerable. I pulled the router cord out with shaking hands. That mean lady hadn't just guessed our lives, she'd watched them in real time. I finally understood. She wasn't just showing up. She was orchestrating moments to break us from inside our own walls. I rushed to Mom's house, needing safe ground, only to find my sister already there, drinking tea with Mom like nothing had happened. "She just wants connection," Mom said gently. My mouth went dry. "She violated our lives," I whispered. But Mom didn't flinch. That mean lady leaned back, eyes smug. "Told you they'd never believe you." In that moment, betrayal burned hotter than fear. I wasn't just losing control, I was losing my allies too. At Sunday brunch, my aunt pulled me aside. "You shouldn't be so hard on Olivia," she murmured. "She said you've been unstable since the miscarriage." My jaw dropped. That was private, sacred. Olivia had twisted my grief into gossip, and people believed her. That mean lady didn't need to scream. She weaponized whispers. I looked around the table, once filled with warmth, now eyes shifting with doubt. She wasn't just ruining my life. She was rewriting it. That night, my daughter woke screaming, her toy bear shredded, calendar pages taped to the walls spelling, "Tell the truth." I ran to her, heart pounding, rage twisting inside me. This was our home, our sanctuary, and that mean lady had poisoned it. My husband grabbed a bat, scanning the yard, but found nothing. It wasn't about being seen anymore. It was about being haunted until we broke or she was stopped. I chose not to break. I moved my daughter into our room and installed cameras, one pointed straight at the old family calendar. Hours later, an alert, motion detected. I opened the app, breath held. There she was, in the kitchen, flipping pages like she owned time. I called the police. She has a key. I snapped. We never gave her one. That mean lady. Gaze in the footage made my skin crawl. She wasn't trespassing. She thought she still lived here. I changed the locks, updated every password, and moved the calendar offline. That night, I left my phone recording in the hallway. Morning came and there she was, whispering through the vent. Liar, liar. My hands shook as I played it back. That mean lady, a voice, crawling through walls, like she belonged to the house's bones. I realized then, this wasn't just about family. It was about control, and I was finally ready to fight back. In a final attempt, I burned the old wall calendar, watched it curl into black ash in our backyard grill. For a moment I felt free, but the next day, a new calendar appeared in our mailbox, same handwriting. Dates filled in, dinner, truth, blood. My knees buckled. That mean lady wasn't just haunting us. She was scripting our lives like a sick playwright. I stopped asking why. Now, I was preparing for the final act. I crafted a decoy calendar, filled it with fake events, false leads. Then I waited. At 3:17 p.m., the doorbell rang. She was there holding a gift for the baby. She lied. But no one had a birthday. My camera caught everything. Her mean lady, smile twitching when no one answered, her fingers trembling. She couldn't script chaos without a stage, and I had just yanked the curtain down. My silence was louder than any scream. Later that week, she left a voicemail, whimpering, incoherent. You need me, you forget everything without me, she sobbed. My chest tightened, not with pity, but with clarity. The calendar wasn't just control, it was her identity. That mean lady, persona fed on being irreplaceable, even as a villain. I didn't call back. I saved the message, sent it to the officer. No more guessing her next move. This time, I'd use I created a fake family reunion event, location set to a public library under heavy surveillance. I watched from my car as she showed up, dressed like mom, holding a photo album. When no one arrived, her expression cracked. That mean lady facade melted into a frantic search, pacing between aisles. The officers moved in quietly. She never saw it coming. For once, I wasn't reacting, I was leading, and the calendar finally served my story, not hers. Back at the station, I watched through the two-way glass. She was calm. Too calm, they'll call me, she said, pointing at the calendar in her lap. They need me to keep it all together. The officer slid me her planner, each page a record of our lives, scribbled like commandments. I whispered, she's not family, she's fixation. That mean lady wasn't waiting to be invited. She believed she was chosen. And now, her delusion was evidence. We printed her planner, page by page, and presented it in court, each entry referenced with camera footage, screenshots, and her voice recordings. The judge scanned a date, erased birthday joy. He looked up, brow furrowed. That mean lady, smile finally broke when she realized this wasn't a reunion. It was a reckoning. Her obsession, once dismissed as drama, now stood as proof, and I stood taller, knowing the story she tried to write was no longer hers. As they led her away, she screamed not words but dates. March 3rd, April 12th, July. Her voice cracked, desperate to stay relevant. That mean lady, mask shattered in real time. No one responded, no one recorded. The silence swallowed her whole. I watched from the bench, holding my daughter's hand, calendar. Free for the first time in years. She hadn't just lost. She'd erased herself, one fake appointment at a time. I sat alone that evening, holding the burned corner of the old calendar. One piece I'd saved. Not to remember her, but to remember what I overcame. That mean lady, voice no longer echoed in the halls. Instead, my daughter laughed from the next room, free. I whispered, never again. The calendar used to dictate our fear. Now, it reminded me that peace isn't scheduled. It's chosen every single day. At bedtime, my daughter asked if we could make a new calendar. One just for happy things. I nodded, tears stinging, but no surprises, she added softly. I hugged her tight. That mean lady may have tried to steal our joy, but she failed to erase our hope. As we drew silly faces for birthdays and stars for picnics, I realized healing wasn't quiet. It was loud, messy, and real. And finally, it was ours to define. Olivia was placed under psychiatric supervision, the court ruling her a danger to herself and others. The officers returned our footage, and the judge granted us a long-term restraining order. That mean lady, persona didn't just unravel. She was removed, piece by piece, from our lives. My daughter slept through the night again, and the calendar, now it's filled with new handwriting, hers. Scribbled with hearts, not threats, love, not fear, and that changes everything. We rebuilt slowly. My husband started hosting Sunday breakfasts again, simple, safe, sacred. I changed all our passwords, replaced every lock, and donated every calendar in the house. My daughter taped a note on the fridge, no scary days allowed. That mean lady, chapter is closed. She's not in our home, not in our heads, and as I sip coffee beside my family, I know one thing for sure, survival isn't luck. It's choice, daily and deliberate.